that's the Key Bridge. I mean, that's the Key Bridge.
Yeah, it is.
Wow.
That ship that's underneath there lost its steering.
On March 26, 2024, a ship the length of nearly 3 football fields lost power for just moments. But those moments were enough to take down one of America's major bridges. In the darkness before dawn, the container ship Dali struck a pier of the Francis Scott Key Bridge, sending its truss span into the Patapsco River. 6 workers on the bridge died, and 2 people were rescued from the river. Why would an electrical glitch on a single vessel connect to such devastation? Investigators point to multiple power losses and electrical systems under review. And yet, the question remains, how could a structure this vital crumble from one ship's troubles? This isn't only about Baltimore, it's about how one hidden weakness can bring everything crashing down. The real story begins with 2 flickers in the dark. Why would a momentary blackout on one ship decide the fate of a mile-long bridge? In those early morning hours, the container ship Dali was leaving port under normal guidance. Nearly 1,000 feet long and heavy with cargo, it drifted from the dock like countless voyages before. But inside its electrical system, failures had already begun stacking, and they would surface at the worst possible moment. Investigators later reported the Dali had suffered not just 1, but 2 power blackouts while still in port earlier that day. Both were technically distinct, but one was linked to a crew error. Then, during the outbound trip toward the Key Bridge, the failures returned with far higher stakes. 2 vital circuit breakers tripped, cutting off power to pumps that kept the ship's propeller and rudder alive. The result was instant. No propulsion, no steering. At about 1:24 a.m., the vessel's lights shut off, flared back, then plunged into full darkness again. Thick smoke poured from the funnel. By then, the ship was only a few ship lengths from the bridge, moving at about 8 knots. At 1:27 a.m., with impact seconds away, the pilot issued a mayday call that traffic on the bridge had to be stopped immediately. And at roughly 1:28:45 a.m., less than 2 minutes after the first blackout, the container ship slammed into a pier. That gave police and bridge officers barely a minute to 90 seconds to act. It was just enough time to halt cars from entering the span before it collapsed. This razor-thin window meant some lives could be saved, while 6 workers already on the bridge had no chance. The crew had few options. Anchors were dropped in desperation, but a vessel of that weight and momentum cannot be stopped on such short notice. The emergency generator that kicked in provided lights and communications, but it was never configured to supply power to propulsion. So, with the breakers down, steering and thrust remained dead. From that point on, the ship was little more than an unguided mass sliding toward the bridge supports. Imagine driving downhill and suddenly losing your brakes, your gas, and your steering wheel at the same time. You still move forward, but with no control. That was the Dali under blackout, its pilots watching seconds drain as the steel framework of the Key Bridge loomed closer. The radio call Mayday was the last human effort before collision. It prevented cars from being stranded in mid-span, but nothing could restrain the impact force of nearly 100,000 tons against an isolated concrete pier. So the question becomes, how does one strike at a single pier cause an entire bridge to fall? When metal finally met stone, the Key Bridge had no reserve strength left. One pier failed, and the rest of the bridge followed, collapsing like a line of dominoes. The Francis Scott Key Bridge wasn't just old, it was fracture critical. That meant if any single support gave way, the entire system had nowhere to shift the load. No backups, no safety net, just steel and concrete giving way under the sheer momentum of a 100,000-ton ship. The Dali itself barely moved forward after impact, resting against twisted wreckage. But the damage had already spread through Baltimore's harbor. Cars stopped just in time, other workers weren't so lucky. And the port, one of the nation's busiest, was paralyzed for months. What makes this even scarier? Dozens of older bridges across the country share the same hidden weakness. On paper, they seem fine. But like the Key Bridge, one unexpected moment, a blackout, a miscalculation, a single strike could bring them down. Power outages aboard the Dali set in motion a chain reaction no one saw coming. One weak link on one ship became a citywide disaster. Steel in the water, trade at a halt. Lives forever changed. No one warned us. And the question lingers. If this could happen here, where else could it happen next? If you like this video, please consider subscribing. It makes my day. Thanks for watching. Until next time, peace.